Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Panchadashodhyayaha. In this chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is explaining about Brahman, Jiva, and the transmigration of soul. And he gave a very beautiful example of a tree to explain Brahman and Samsara. So let us continue in this chapter. Shloka 15 in chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha matta smridir jnanam apohanancha vedaischa sarvairahameva vidyaha vedanta krid veda videva chaham. Bhagavan is telling that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtam. I am seated in the heart of all beings. Sarvasya, of all beings. I am seated in the Hridi, in the heart of all beings. Mattas Smriti Jnana Apohanam. I am responsible, or because of me they all smriti. They have memory. Jnanam, they have knowledge. Apohanam, and the absence of both these. It is because of Bhagavan we are able to remember everything. And it is because of him we have knowledge. And the absence of knowledge and absence of memory, it is also because of Bhagavan. Usually in the Puranas it is said that we remember everything, and we are able to attain knowledge in this janma because of our punya karma. So the absence of this is due to papa karma. So I think nowadays we forget so many things. We do not have that much memory like the ancient people. Just imagine, we all write, in some way or other we record everything, but still we forget. But in the ancient times, all these Upanishads, this Bhagavad Gita, everything were not recorded or were not coded. Just by hearing the students listening to the teachings of the gurus, they remember everything and they by hearted or memorized the whole of Vedas like this. So just imagine the memory power of the people then. But now we do not have that memory power. We are not able to remember everything. And the jnana, the same with jnana also. We have to strive a lot to attain jnana. So the absence of jnana or memory, that is due to papa karma, and remembering everything and attaining knowledge is due to punya karma. So Bhagavan is telling, I am the from me, matta, that is from me. They remember, they have this memory, they have this knowledge, and their absence also. Vedaischa, so by the Vedas, Sarvairaham Vedyaha. In the Vedas, they describe me only. So when they study the Vedas, they understand me. All the Vedas, they describe me. So they know me by the Vedas. Vedanta Krita. I am the author of the Vedanta. Vedanta means the end part of the Vedas. That is where the jnana, complete knowledge about Brahman, is said. It is in the form of Upanishads. And the concept of the Upanishads is explained everywhere. It is repeated in the Smriti and different Puranas. Even in Bhagavad Gita, the core concept is from the Upanishads. That's why there are many slokas which resemble the Upanishads mantras. So Vedanta Krita, I am the author of the Vedanta. I am the author of the Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas also. So it is Bhagavan who is responsible for everything. He is the memory. It is because of him or from him we get memory, knowledge, and the absence of both this, can be known by the Vedas, and he is the knower of the Vedas, and he is the author of the Vedanta. And in the next shloka, Dvavimau purushau loke ksharaschaksharameva cha kshara sarvani bhutani kudastokshara uchyate. Bhagavan is telling in this shloka that I exist in two forms, as two Purushas, two Purushas, Loke, in this Loka. I exist as two Purushas in this Loka. One is Kshara and the other is Akshara. One is Kshara, means one is perishable, and the other is imperishable. So I exist as two Purushas in this Loka. What does Bhagavan mean by that is, Shara means perishable. So what all are perishable? The forms, the different forms are perishable. They are perishable because they are the combination of the five elements, and by time the four elements will move apart, they will separate, and the body will be under destruction. It will be perished. The body will be perished. So the body and mind, that is perishable. So what is Akshara, imperishable here? It is the Amsha of Bhagavan that holds this body and mind. So the Amsha of Bhagavan is eternal, Sanatana. So that is imperishable. So the Jiva, or the individual soul, or the Amsha of Bhagavan that holds to it the mind and body, that is imperishable. But the mind and body, they are perishable. They are Shara. The mind and body are Shara, perishable. But what is imperishable is that Jiva, or the Amsha of Bhagavan, which holds together this body and mind. That Amsha is imperishable. So in this Loka, Bhagavan exists in two ways, as perishable and imperishable. Imperishable is the Amsha of Bhagavan, which we commonly say as the reflection of Bhagavan, or Chitta Vasa, or Jiva, and it holds together the body and mind, and this body and mind are perishable. So this Amsha of Bhagavan, or that Jiva, or that soul, it is eternal because it is not different from Brahman, or that universal Parampurusha. It is not different in any way from it. Only thing is, it attracts to its body and mind, and it appears as many. We say there are many jivas. It appears as many jivas, just like what I explained in my last video. The different reflections of the sun. The say one Surya and its reflection falling on the different pots of water. So it appears as different, but it is not different. So that Amsha of Bhagavan, that is imperishable, and the perishable is the body and mind. So, but some acharyas, they say that it is the concept of Maya that is imperishable. That is also true, because the Maya is the Shakti of Bhagavan. It is the Shakti of Bhagavan. So how can it be perishable? It can go back to Bhagavan, just like how the Jiva goes back to Bhagavan. So when it separates, when the jiva separates from the body and mind, it goes back to Bhagavan only. Just like that, the Maya, which is the Upadhana Karana of this creation, it goes back to Bhagavan. So some acharyas, they say that this imperishable is the Maya Shakti of Bhagavan. So that is also right. From one concept or from one perspective, that is also right. But the Jiva, which is the Amsha of Bhagavan, that is also imperishable, and it holds to it or draws to it the body and mind, which is perishable. Dvavimau purushau lohe kshara akshara evacha. The two Purushas are there in this world. That is because it says in this world. So it means the jiva and the perishable body in this, not only body, different forms. All that is perishable, that is kshara. So there are two purushas in this loka. One is kshara, the perishable, and the imperishable. Kshara sarvani bhudani. So all beings are the perishable. All beings means all the forms in this, what all we see, however big it may be. It may be so giant now. Even the mountain Himalayas is one day perishable. And that may take a long, long time. But it is perishable because that is the nature of this Prakriti. So that all the beings are the perishable, and the kudastha. Kudu itself means it is unchanging, it is imperishable, and this kudastha is that base on which this body and mind exists. This body and mind exists on the amsha of Bhagavan. So that is kudastha. It is on that the mind and body, which is kshara, which is perishable, is able to, is exists in it, and it is able to perform its actions. So that is akshara, the foundation on which the body and mind exists. That is the individual body and individual mind exists. That is the amsha of Bhagavan. That is amsha of Bhagavan is imperishable, but the body and mind is perishable. उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः. So in this shloka, that is shloka 17, Bhagavan Krishna is very clearly telling about the Param Purusha, which is the foundation of all this, Param Purusha. Uttama Purushas Anyaha. So that Supreme Purusha, that is different from this or other than this. Other than what? Other than this perishable and the imperishable. So that Supreme Purusha is the Uttama Purusha. Paramatyudahradaha. So it is the highest self and it is called as the Paramatma. It is called as the Paramatma, that is the highest self. Lokatraya Avishya, it pervades the three worlds. So this individual soul, what does it do? That is the jiva, which Bhagavan said in the last shloka. What does it do? It is individual. It is the foundation or the kudastha for this mind or this body. So I have that amsha of Bhagavan in me. That is a personalized, customized like that, personalized Bhagavan. Because even though it is the amsha of the universal concept or the Brahman, Para Brahman, but to me, it is the foundation of my mind and my body. So there is something individual there, personalization there. But this Uttama Purusha, it exists in these three worlds. That it pervades the three worlds, pervading the three worlds. Lokatrayam Avishya, it pervades the three worlds. Vibharti, it sustains the three worlds. Avyaya, indestructible Ishvara. So that Uttama Purusha, it pervades the three worlds, it sustains the three lokas, and it is Avyaya, indestructible. So that is the Param Purusha. When I say the jiva or the individual soul, please do not imagine that individual soul is separate from this Brahman. It is the same as Brahman, but it is another appearance of Brahman. We can say like that. Just like the reflection of the sunlight is not different from the sun in any way. It doesn't reflect anything other than the sun. It reflects only that real sun. But it appears different because the reflection on which it falls, that medium, is may be pure or may not be pure. This jiva, that is the amsha of Bhagavan, is not different from Brahman or this universal Param Purusha, supreme being, but another appearance of it. That's all. It is not different but appear different. It is not separate or different but a different form of it. One has to understand this concept very clearly, do manana on it, only then we can understand the concept of Jiva and Brahman. Or otherwise, we think that this Jiva is different, entirely different from Brahman in all aspects. No. That is the uniqueness of the Advaita philosophy. So this Param Purusha, the Supreme Purusha, called the highest self, that is said as the Udahrita, it is called as the highest self, that is the indestructible Lord, and he pervades the three worlds and he sustains them. So that is the nature of the Supreme Purusha, which is other than these two Purushas which exist in this world. I hope I made the point clear. यस्माक्षरमतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः. And Bhagavan is telling that, he is telling from the stand of Brahman, as I transcend the perishable, and I am even higher than the imperishable, I am declared as the highest Purusha, Purushottama, in this world and by the Veda. So what Bhagavan tell here is, I transcend the perishable. That we all know. Perishable means this world of forms. Perishable and the imperishable. What imperishable does Bhagavan refer here? He refers to this jivas. So the jiva is only the amsha of Bhagavan. So he transcends even the jivas. So he transcends the perishable, which is all the forms, and the imperishable, the jivas. And because I transcend both this perishable and imperishable of this loka, I am said as the Uttama Purusha by the world and by the Vedas. That is, he is said as Brahman by the world and by the Vedas. So, as I said earlier, some acharyas tell this imperishable as the concept of Maya. That is also very true. He transcends the forms as well as the Maya, because Maya is the power of Bhava. It exists in Bhava. So, he transcends both. And that's why he is called as the Uttama Purusha. यो मामेवमसम्मूढाः जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारतः. So some people who are asammudha means the people who are undiluted, that is, we can say it as jnanis. That people who have very high intellect or very high knowledge, the jnanis, they janati, they know that I am the Purushottama. They know me as the Purushottama, and they know, understanding me as the Purushottama, that is understanding me who is higher than the perishable and the imperishable. They worship me with complete devotion. They worship me with complete devotion. That is, this shloka can be interpreted just like, in the beginning stages, the jnani, they worship the self. They worship the self, which is they believe that Bhagavan is dwelling in them. So they just worship that self. When their knowledge grows higher and higher, when it goes higher and higher, then they merge this individual self with the universal self. Now this is one stage, merging with this jiva, then understanding that this jiva is not separate, it is not different from Brahman. Understanding that. So the jnanis, when they go in the jnani also, there are different steps, higher level of evolution. So just to understand this self and merging in this self itself is a lifetime effort. So after doing that, one has to merge this individual self, that is the Amsha of Bhagavan, with Bhagavan himself. So the people who are undiluted, they understand me as the Uttama Purusha and they worship me thus. So that is the one each step towards that understanding our real nature. Then these types of jnanis are very very rare. At least they will understand this Bhagavan as this self as the Amsha of Bhagavan. But merging this self with that universal consciousness, that is very rare. And people who have gone to that level, they just do not feel any difference in anyone. Just like they will be just behave just like Bhagavan Krishna. Outwardly, they may behave in different way, but they know in that I am not different from Brahman. So to see that type of jnanis itself is very rare. So a person who is undiluted, they know him, they know the Bhagavan as that supreme highest Purusha, and they worship Bhagavan with their complete devotion. Arjuna, Bhagavan is telling. Now the last shloka of this chapter. इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदं मुक्तं मया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत. This is the Guhyatamam Shastram. This is the most secret of all sciences. Anakha. Anakha means one who is sinless. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is addressing Arjuna as Anakha. Anakha means one who is sinless, one who has not done any sin. So just think like that. One who has not done any sins or that much papa, only they will have the chance to read this or understand this Bhagavad Gita, just like Arjuna. Because Bhagavan has recorded this, how many people in this world know about this Bhagavad Gita? Even if they know, they may not have the chance of reading it or understanding it. So Bhagavan is addressing Sri Arjuna as Anagha. So this is the Guhyatamam Shastram. This is the secret of all the sciences that is taught by me to you, Arjuna. On knowing this, a man becomes wise. So he will understand his nature, his real self, and he will understand the nature, how he is related to Brahman. So he will understand the real nature of his self, and he will be understanding this. He will be able to accomplish all his duties in this lifetime or in this world. So when we understand our real nature and then perform our duties, then definitely it will have a very positive impact. So Guhyatamam Shastram, this is the most profound secret Arjuna Bhagavan is telling. With these very beautiful words, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is concluding this chapter which has 20 shlokas, and this chapter, that is the Purushottama Yoga, it began with the words of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and he gave a very beautiful metaphor of a people tree, and he said that the root of the people tree is above, which is the Adhisthana, the foundation, and that is Brahman, and from that root evolved all the samsara, the different branches of the tree, and that all the branches are below. So the root is above and the branches are below, and the leaves of this tree is the Vedas. The leaves of this tree are the Vedas, and the buds of this tree are the sense objects. So this tree, it has all the branches below and the root is above, because the Adhisthana foundation is above and all the branches are below. And from this branches, it again developed the secondary branches, and that secondary branches, it became very firm and strong in this world. So one has to cut the secondary branches by the acts of unattachment. Asanga Shastrena, one has to cut it. And once when he cut the secondary branches with the axe of an attachment, then his goal must be to attain that Param Purusha, Parandhama. So attaining, going there or when reaching there, there is no return for anyone again. So he will remain in that self itself. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, that in that Parandhama, the nature of that Parandhama or that Parampurusha or that nature of Brahman is the sun or the moon or the stars that do not shine there. They all borrow their light or borrow their energy from that Parampurusha. So at Bhagavan Krishna in the next few shlokas, he explained very clearly about the Jiva. He said that this Jiva which exists in this world is the Amsha of me, that is Amsha of Bhagavan, and it draws to itself the mind and the six senses, and this takes body and it experiences different karmas. So by attachment with this mind, the jiva feels that it is the karta as well as the bhokta, that is the doer as well as the enjoyer. When some particular karmas are over, this jiva, it sheds off this sharira and it take another sharira. So this jiva or the transmigration of this soul is explained with a very beautiful example, just like how the air carries away the scent from one flower to another flower. So it is explained in that way. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna said that a deluded person, he do not understand the amsha of Bhagavan existing in this body or going away from this body. So a jnani who has this unattachment, he understands the nature of this jiva and he very well understands this amsha of Bhagavan is existing in this body, and he will know when this Bhagavan is leaving, he is staying there, and what is the importance of the Sharira, all that a Jnani will know. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the last few shlokas, he said that he exists as two Purushas in this world. One is perishable, which is the body, and the other is imperishable. And the Supreme Purusha is beyond this perishable and the imperishable, and a jnani or an undiluted person, he worship me knowing my real nature as the Supreme Purusha, and he worship me and he attains me. So with this shloka, and in the last shloka, the shloka 20, Bhagavan Krishna said that is the Guhyatamam Shastram, it is the most profound secret, Arjuna, Bhagavan Krishna said. So in a way, we are also virtuous enough to understand this knowledge. So with this shloka, Bhagavan Sri Krishna ends this chapter. Om Tat Satiti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayah. In my next upload, I will continue with the next chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishnah Yatra Partho Dhanurdarah Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhuti Dhruvani Tirmatirmama Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.